Got a little snow last night. Hello, we're in Big Bear, California in the San Bernardino Mountains. I came up here, we have our four-wheel drive club has a meeting once a month. I came up for that and to get some chains for this Jeep. I don't have any chains for the Jeep, and if there are chain restrictions during the winter, even with a four-wheel drive, you have to show them that you do have chains. So I got those yesterday, and I really didn't plan on doing any video, but we got a little snow last night, maybe a couple of inches or something, so thought I'd take you around, show you Big Bear Village, maybe Big Bear Lake. We'll definitely come back up here this winter when the ski resorts are open. I don't know how icy it is. Not a lot of snow. I would definitely prefer the snow over the ice. Just slushy. Looks like they've laid salt down already. Not a lot of snow, but still pretty. This is the village, Big Bear Village. A lot of restaurants and shops in here. I'm coming up on my favorite restaurant for breakfast called Teddy Bear. We'll come back here after we spin around. Let me pull over and change cameras. All right, let's take it right around. Check it out. So like I said, we're on the village. Right, well, I'll have to show you later, but there's a really good place for baby back ribs, a great little microbrewery place. Okay, I'm gonna have to come up with a different adjective than great. But microbrewery place that has these, what they call avocado bombs, which are these fried avocados with crab meat and tuna in it. They're really great. So we're on Big Bear Boulevard right now. We're going to go down to Summit Boulevard, make a right, and I don't think they let you go up very far because the ski resort's not opened, so they kind of have it closed off. But hopefully we can get up close enough you can just kind of see where the biggest ski resort up here is at. It's called Snow Summit. It's at about 8,000 feet. And it's bigger than all the rest in terms of the number of chairs and the number of runs, a decent amount. So straight up here is Snow Summit. We'll see how far we can go up. It almost looks like it might be open. It's kind of crazy. That loud noise is them making snow up there right now. I have to give you the information later on how many runs there are and how many chairs there are. But like I said, this is the biggest resort up here in Big Bear. This is where I first learned to ski, was Big Bear, when I was 18. I grew up in Tennessee, and I never did any skiing there. I mean, I think maybe there's one place in Gatlinburg that has skiing in Tennessee, which is not very good. But so, okay, so this is Summit Boulevard. We're going to go back down. We'll go back to the village, and I'll show you some of the places that I like to go, and then have some breakfast, and then head over and show you the lake. Turn around here and park on the other side of the street. And instead of I went to Teddy Bear's yesterday. I will show you Teddy Bear's, but I think I'm gonna have a little lighter breakfast this morning and get some coffee if they're open. see. This is the breakfast place I was telling you about that I like. Actually, it's more of a coffee bar. But my favorite place to get coffee in town. There's a little movie theater here. A lot of shops, a lot of restaurants. There are bald eagles in Big Bear, San Bernardino Mountains, that nest and hatch every year. There's the theater, Village Theater. This is Teddy Bear's restaurant, my favorite place for breakfast. They have a good blueberry pie here too. I don't know, every time I do a walk around, it seems to focus on food. I guess that's the way it is. When they get some snow up here and all the ski resorts are open, then even during the middle of the week it'll be a lot busier than this. This is called the Peppercorn, and this is kind of my favorite dinner, nice dinner place for steak, seafood. And then right over here is the Big Bear Lake Brewing Company, and they have a microbrewery. They brew several beers there, and I like their avocado bomb I described earlier. Avocados that have partially been hollowed out with tuna and crab meat and fried. So right here is a Mexican restaurant, pretty good Mexican food. And across the way is the Boneyard, and that's where I said I really like the baby back ribs. The person who owns the Boneyard also owns Big Bear Lake Brewing Company and also owns the Cave, which is a place where kind of a nightclub. So if we went straight down, you'd be down at a marina, straight down Pine. This is kind of a cool shot right here. Okay, I had a lighter breakfast instead of teddy bear at my coffee shop. And now let's go down to the lake. Like I mentioned before, a long time ago when I was, 18, 20, 25, we would come down here and we would rent sailboats at the marina off Pine Knot Avenue, and they rented lasers back then. And the water was, even during the summer, because the water's run off from the mountains, it was never like crazy warm. Even if it was crazy hot, the water was still pretty cool. And one year my brother and I came down, and he didn't live here in California. He came, I don't know where he was living back then, but he came and visited, and we came up here and we rented one of the sailboats. And he and I had experienced sailing. We grew up sailing a laser that my father had bought, and even before that, the family used to rent a laser and go out sailing. So we had some experience on lasers, knew something about sailing, and we took it out, and that wind that day was blowing us towards the end of the lake down here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It ends. That section of the lake ends, and it's a lot of rocks. So we were being blown in that direction, so we were doing what we could to tack to avoid that. And at that time there was something they called lakeweed. I don't know what the technical name for it was, but there was a lot of it. And it would just cover, in some patches it would just cover that area. Well, we ended up going down, and when I say down, we had a knockdown on the sailboat, and I don't think we turtled. I don't think we went completely upside down, as I remember, but we knocked down, and the mast and the sail was all tangled up in this lakeweed, and we were maybe 50 yards from shore, if even that far. And we couldn't get the sailboat back up, and like I said, even during the summer the water is pretty chilly. So we ended up swimming back to shore. Well, I guess somebody went by and saw us in the water and saw us struggling probably to try to get the boat upright. And they called fire department. And so when we got to shore, the paramedics were there, and they took us to their paramedic unit, the first time I'd ever been in an ambulance. And took our blood pressure and checked us out and gave us blankets. Yeah, we were pretty cold, but more than anything, we were embarrassed as sailors to end up in the back of a paramedic unit. So after they cleared us, and the people that ran the marina brought a powerboat down and uprighted the sailboat and brought the sailboat back to the marina, we had rented the sailboat. I don't know if it was a half day or for the full day, but we still had time left. So like any good sailors, we're like, well, we're going out again, get right back on that horse. So we did take the sailboat out again. But it was a pretty memorable event. And when I was younger, we would come up for the day. I mean, we would drive up in the morning, leave around 6 o'clock in the morning, get up here around 8 when the runs just first start opening. And then we would ski until 4 o'clock and then drive down. And, during ski season, that drive down is pretty packed. A lot of traffic going down. And, I mean, we did that all the time. We didn't spend the night. When I would come up with my buddies, that's what we did. Now, I'm like, there's no way I'm driving up in the morning and then driving back that same night. So, as a family, when we would come up here, we would always spend the night somewhere. So this is where we go across Stanfield Cutoff, and it'll take us over the lake. And actually up ahead, because there's no zoom, you're seeing everything really far away. But right here on the left is where we had a knockdown on the sailboat. And up here on the left where this black Jeep is parked is where the paramedic unit was. So we had come ashore. They had us come over here to where their vehicle was parked and to check out all our vitals. Embarrassing is really what it was, just embarrassing. It was not the last time I was here, but the time before, there were some, I saw some bald eagles flying. They swoop down and get trout out of this lake. And you can see straight ahead, and I know, again, like I said, I know I don't have a zoom on this thing, so it's far ahead, but those are the runs. They're not open yet. You just practicing? You got everything you need?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Nice Jeep, man.
Oh, thanks.
Sick. This thing's awesome. Wow, we're just doing a little photo shoot.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
So hopefully we'll get a good amount of precipitation this year, and the lake will, rise some. This is actually, when you look at what the lake is right now, this is higher than it's been. I mean, and the lake is low, so you can kind of look over here where this dock is and see how low it is. But I don't know how many acres this lake is, but it's not huge. But they do, they allow boating on it, so that people ski on it and they fish on it. There's trout in here. I think that they stock it with trout, I believe, or at least they used to. So that water looks mighty cold to me. We'll drive over to Fawnskin and see what one of the roads looks like that goes to a Boy Scout camp, among other things. I will say that a long time ago, I got the CJ7, the one that I still have, the blue one. Me and my wife got it stuck. I guess I got it stuck. My wife was in the vehicle with me. Out. We were back there, I don't know, maybe a couple of hours trying to get it out and trying to do all different kinds of things to get it out, and walked around to see if we could find anybody. And then eventually a truck came back there, off-road pickup truck, and it had some recovery gear and was able to pull us out. So we're going to go back to that same spot. We'll see what it's like. I do have recovery gear with me, and I could send an email out, and I think I would get some help back here pretty quick from club members. So this is Jeep country right here, so you get a lot of the Jeep wave in. If you're not familiar with that, there's kind of a custom of people who drive Jeeps that they give you what they call the Jeep wave. It's just like, it could be a couple of finger, kind of the peace sign or whatever. But we have to come up here. We'll do some hiking, get some video of that, and do some skiing up here. I mean, the ski resort it's not comparable to Mammoth or something you would have in Colorado or Utah, but hey, it's 2 hours drive up from Orange County, parts of LA County, to get to the mountains. I mean, some days you could literally be on the ocean doing some water sports, sailing, surfing, paddleboarding, warm enough weather, and then the same day you could come up here and go snow skiing. So that's pretty cool. I think pretty unique. Okay, so we're coming up on a little area they call Fawnskin. So the pavement ends. We'll see what it looks like. I know it's bumpy as crazy, so this GoPro will be bouncing around like a madman. So we're just in two-wheel drive. Definitely been some people back there today. A lot of people, looks like. Okay, I've switched into four-wheel drive high. I don't have the lockers on. I really probably don't need anything, but no sense sliding off the road in two-wheel drive. Definitely a little more virgin snow here. But not deep. I mean, looks like maybe 3 inches of snow. Somebody's been back here. Looks like just one vehicle. So there's the YMCA camp to the left. Camp Whittle. Hannah Flats. I'll go a little further. I don't know if I'll have a place to turn around. Not a lot of snow, but I'll take it. Look and see if I have self-service back here. Barely. Barely. camped out here, back here before. Looks like ice underneath this though. Somebody's turned around here, so I'm going to use this as an opportunity to get turned around. Go too far back in here and have a problem by myself. But it's pretty. Clean this windshield off. Definitely pretty. I'm gonna pull over and get out for a little bit. It's quiet. I can hear myself, but other than that noise, I can hear the birds. It's pretty. All right, I'm going to head back to the hotel, get checked out. But thank you for joining me. We only scratched the surface of Big Bear. There's a lot more to see, and we'll come up and we'll do some skiing and some hiking and see a little bit more of Big Bear in the near future this winter. But if you like what you saw, give us a thumbs up and please subscribe. And thank you for joining me. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.